Well, hello fellow carbon units, and welcome to my video. My name's Roy. I consider myself a bit of an astrophotographer. I've been at it for about 3 and a bit years now, learning the ropes, learning tons from YouTube. You guys out there are quite amazing with all the videos you produce, the high quality ones. I've learned so much. It's actually quite amazing. But I do have to say there's one thing none of you guys have covered, and I figured it's my duty to take the time to cover this specific problem, let's call it, because no one else has done it, at least that I'm aware of. So, now see, I'm outside, it's a cold, crisp day, and then I'm in front of a swimming pool. Why, do you ask, am I in front of a swimming pool? Well, you will find out that it plays a major factor in the tale that I'm about to tell. So, about a week ago, we had a windstorm. Winds topped 100 kilometers an hour. That's 60 miles an hour for my American friends. It was dark, it was windy as heck, as you can imagine, and I was pretty sure my mount was safe. I even looked out the window here in the dark a few times and saw that it was just fine. 2 or 3 hours pass, I look out again, and to my absolute f***ing horror, my mount is gone. I cannot see it. All I can see is a big hole in the ice in the corner of the pool. You see where this is going? So, I grabbed flashlights, my wife, we ran out in the storm, and sure enough, there was my tripod and my EQ6 R Pro mount at the bottom of the deep end of the pool, 8 feet down. You can imagine my heart rate went through the roof during all this, figuring that I had just lost over $2,000. So my wife and I went to work extracting the mount and the tripod, which was rather difficult considering it probably weighs, I don't know, 80, 90 pounds with the counterweights and everything. Maybe it's more, I don't know. I've never bothered to measure it. Now remember, it's nighttime, 100 kilometer an hour winds, snow, sleet. It was a miserable time, but within maybe half an hour we managed to extricate the system from the bottom of the pool. So upon getting the mount and tripod extracted, I rushed it into the basement where I began a preliminary disassembly in order to get the water out as much as I could. I woke up the next day and I spent hours consulting YouTube, thank you Astrobloke, on how to disassemble the EQ6 R Pro mount, to which I did. Fastidiously took it apart as much as humanly possible, pretty well. I took the time to replace the bearings, re-lube everything with some white lithium grease, and then started the reassembly process, which took a few hours. It's a good thing that I took a whole raft of photos while I was disassembling so that I knew how everything went back together. But again, some of the YouTube videos were a fantastic help. Anyway, that's a lesson that I learned. You know, for over 3 years, my mount and telescope have been 8 feet away from the pool without a problem, but I've never encountered 100 kilometer an hour winds before, so I think I will be either weighing it down or tying it to the fence next time. Although, chances of this happening again are probably slim, right? Where's the wood? I need to knock on some wood. I was joking with a friend of mine that I no longer need to do polar alignment. Instead, I am trying a new method called pooler alignment. Anyway, that's it for now. So enjoy the series of photos that I'm about to show. And just take note, don't put your mount too close to the pool. Well, here's the series of photos I took. The first few immediately after I extracted the mount from the deep end of the swimming pool. Once I got it down into the basement, I immediately removed the cover and started to assess the damage. Basically, the thing had been completely flooded with water. I'm not sure how long it was down in the water, may have been a few minutes, it may have been a couple hours. You'll notice water droplets throughout, and this is actually a little while after I had drained as much as I could. If you look close, you'll notice rust spots here and there, especially on the worm gear and on some of the bearings. And here's the inside of the polar scope. It probably had 20 tablespoons of water in it. I disassembled it, taking note of the lenses and which way they were oriented so that I knew what I was doing when it came time to reassemble. And here you can see all the parts in a somewhat organized fashion on the table. Note that many of the threaded parts I greased with white lithium grease upon reassembly. Now you see this bearing had a fair bit of rust on it. I'm not sure if this was already in existence before the swim test of the mount or not. There are several of these white Teflon or plastic spacers in the mount, and I had to make special note of where they went. And here you see the ABEC 11 RS608 bearings that I bought from Amazon. These puppies spin like crazy. And now, so does my mount.